Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting, the home of sim racing. Here tonight, we have the Texas Motor Speedway with the Underdog Racing League Xfinity Series. It's going to be one heck of a battle out here on this racetrack as these drivers try to take hold of this 1.5 miler here in the Mid-South. As we now want to give a special shout out to our race name out here tonight is We Are Ready for Beef. It's What's for Dinner presented by We Own a Farm Racing 165, and also Underdog Racing League is presented by the Ultimate Gutters LLC of Louisiana. So shout out to them for sponsoring tonight's race here at the Texas Motor Speedway. And also let's give a shout to the sponsors who make it happen here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and that is ButtKicker. Make sure you go check out their website and see what they have in store for you there. And also want to give a special shout out to the McConey Setup Shop, where you can get some of the best setups out there in iRacing. And remember, at the McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but they're your victories. So make sure you go check them out. And we also got a giveaway going on with them later on that we'll have out in chat with the link. So make sure you check that out, and you can win a free coaching lesson there from the McConey Setup Shop. So thank you to the sponsors who help make it happen at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and the race sponsors who make it happen here at the Underdog Racing League. It's a special night here as we're at the Texas Motor Speedway. I am Zach Hall up in the booth. Joined alongside me will be Ryan Twynham, as we have Robert Moyer Jr., the producer, up on the cameras. Ryan, welcome back here, buddy, man. We're here at the Texas Motor Speedway with the Xfinity cars. This is going to be a tough little track. We heard it's a little bit loose in 1 and 2, so the drivers going to be hanging on tonight with the rear ends.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man. I love this track. I love racing this track. It puts off good racing, and especially in these Xfinity cars, they are wicked loose. You can lose or win a race in turn 1. I feel like your whole lap is based on your entry to 1, and if you miss 1, it's gonna ruin your line for the entire lap, and you'll spend the lap trying to play catch up. And if you nail 1, you could pick up 2-3 spots in a lap. So I'm interested to see it. We got Fensler ending practice at the top of the board with new guy from last week, Ray Lane, sitting third, and sandwiched between them is Earhart.
Yeah, Earhart there looking pretty good in the 25. Also there, you're pointing them out second. But yeah, you brought up 1 and 2 there. I think that's going to be the critical corners all night. That's the, I guess you could say, the actual corner at this racetrack here. For this, as the banking has changed that lower groove, or lower degree spanking there in 1 and 2 that you really have to lift a lot more as they head off into qualifying. And then 3 and 4 is going to be a core where it's a lot closer to wide open. In these Xfinity cars, though, that wide open may not last very long, even if it does for the first lap. So we'll have to see, but definitely cold tires. It's going to be a little bit free, I imagine, through there, and a little bit free through 1 and 2. So we'll see once the tires get up to temp. But right now, you're not going to have much time to get up to temp here in qualifying. You got to get the most out of those cold tires.
We saw too a lot of guys losing it through the trioval and off of 4. Just in the little practice we were watching before going live here, there was a handful of cars just sliding through that infield. So it's slick out there.
Yeah, very slick racetrack here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Here's looking to see which driver is going to put down time. Looks like Robert Rader here in the 53. We're sitting here watching him. I believe he's elected just to wait here and try to get that cooler track temp and see what he can produce there. But remember last week, the 77 to Grant Thrope was our race winner after a wild finish of a race. And I tell you what, Texas, I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar here. So now we're looking at James Loveland putting down a lap time.
Yeah, speaking of Raider, it looks like we got a Raider fan in the chat too. He was a big mover in the points last week. He ended up sneaking up and taking second place. He was up towards the front the whole entire night, and a timely caution came out that jumbled the field, and he was one of the few that were able to withstand the storm of the caution, and ended up finishing second. I believe that was his second top 3 in a row, and he moves into the top 5 in points, sitting there in 4th now.
Yeah, a lot of guys produced some good times. There's Loveland. He just hit the wall hard. He was at the top of the board, slid down now to the 3rd position, as I believe that is Justice Murphy up top in that 9 machine. Best time for him. There's Walterman in that number 99, jumps up to 7th here at the moment. And then Earhart, he jumps to the top of the board. So time's clicking in here quickly, and many guys going faster here as late into the session.
Yeah, you got some good times. You got Earhart, who's up there second in practice, so he's coming around on his hot lap now. He's probably improve on that time a little bit, at least he's hoping to. Unfortunate for Loveland, he hit the inside wall on his. Oh, and now you got Earhart going around on turn 4, just like we saw in practice happening. So he's going to be sticking with the 30-22, and hoping he can stay up there with a little bit slower than the lap than he was hoping for.
And look, see there, Grant Thrope in the number 77. He slots into 6th last week's Winsler. Finsler jumps up on the board 8th there with his first lap. We'll see if he can go quicker as Walterman slides down to 10th. And I believe we have on our ticker there the blue highlight behind their name. I believe that means they have won a race this season. And I'm getting word that is correct.
I was going to bring that up. I wasn't sure. It looks like we've got a little bit of a new ticker. And I did notice just part of me just happened to look at the schedule and pick up that this race marks the third. The first third is in the books on the way to the playoffs. So something to start thinking about as we start knocking these races down each week. Those playoffs are creeping up on us.
Yeah, remember only I believe actually, yeah, Iowa will be that race. 15 weeks in here is we're race number 5, like you said. So this will be that third of a way point. So drivers need to start thinking about that. Like you said, we even need to be thinking about that because, who's going to make that come down is going to have a shot to win a championship. But remember, also stages come back critical too with the points, as we have a stage here at lap 30 and lap 70 tonight for these drivers to see what they can do. Is at the moment still Trevor Earhart out front. That's a great time there. Ray Lane, though, another impressive showing from that 55. He puts himself back up here at second on the board as Finzer looks like he's going to hold on to 3rd.
Yeah, we're watching Raider here, and he's had his hands full so far. We're on his lid now. Let's see if he can hold it straight here. He got loose off 4 the last time, and he's going to come across for a time of 30:47. So that'll put him 10th, and he's looking for his 3rd top 3. He's going to come down onto the apron and hopefully holding on to a top 10 start.
Yeah, I think he wanted a little more from that there with that 30-24 he ran in practice, but that's all right. He's got plenty of race to make that up here, as that's going to be the final few seconds of this qualifying session here tonight, as it looks like Trevor Earhart will be the pole winner here at the Underdog Racing League. Congrats to him on that 25 machine, put down a great time here as we'll get ready to pull up our starting grid to see where your favorite drivers start tonight. As you can see there, Chevy Earhart going to start in that first position. Second's going to go to the 55 of Ray Lane. Third is going to be Jason Finsler. Fourth position going to Justice Murphy. Fifth's going to be Kevin Orlando Jr. Sixth, Matt Jobe. Eighth's going to go to James Loveland. Seventh's going to go to James Loveland. Eighth is Grant Thrope. Ninth is Nick Alves. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Robert Rader. 11th is going to be David Buell. 12th is going to go to Brett Somers. 13th is going to be Dylan Walterman. 14th, Dennis Steele. 15th, Justin Stunnard. 16th is going to go to Dane Moyer. 17th is Jacob Sekrovich. 18th is going to go to Cody Dorsey. 19th, Eddie Wildermuth. 20th, Peyton Presley. 21st, Christopher Heights. 22nd, Parker Johnston. 23rd, John Magner. 24th, Marshall Wilson. And rounding out your field is Scott Kerberg in that 14 machine in the 25th position, as that's our starting lineup here tonight, as they all get gridded up on the pit road and ready to kick off tonight's 120 laps here at Texas.
We really had a jumble towards the end of last week's race, and Ray Lane looked like he was going to be in a good position to maybe pick up a win, and he lost it off 4 late in the race. You had really the top 5 that was dominant all race last week at Nashville, and in the middle of green flag pit stops, that caution came out, and it turned the race upside down, but it got us out of our seats because that made the rest of the race so exciting. Nail-biting racing, everyone pushing hard, trying to get what they can, knowing that Fensler, who dominated stage 1 and 2, led 102 laps, I believe, really had the race taken from him by a caution, and everyone knew it was up for grabs.
Yeah, that's when we see somebody Finsler, I mean, you gotta speak of him. He's got the 2 wins there, Daytona Road Course, Homestead. So he was looking for that trifecta of 3 wins in a row last week at the Nashville Super Speedway. Didn't get it done, but I think people know he's the man to beat. I mean, we see it week in, week out. I mean, he won the championship last season. He's the guy to beat when you come here. And when he has a little falter like that or something go against him, you have to be able to pick up the pieces that he leaves out there on the track, because you don't know how many times he is going to falter throughout the season to give you that chance, because this man has some ridiculous pace at some points. We've seen guys challenge him throughout the season so far, I would say even more than we had in the Truck Series, but man, at some points he just feels untouchable.
Yeah, and that definitely goes for saying. You mentioned the trifecta, and that was not only that, but that was coming off a Grand Slam, and he was only, I believe, 1,000th of a second from going for back-to-back Grand Slams on that stage 3 before that caution came out. You had Ray Lane narrowly beat him in qualifying for the pole, and he seemed untouched during the race last week.
That he did. That was a very great point there about almost getting back-to-back Grand Slams. That is a feat we haven't seen done. He might be able to pull it off this season. We'll see if anybody else can, as the pace car is in. Chevy Earhart going to lead us to green in the 25 machine, looking for a good run here tonight. The green flag is out. We're off and away. As Ray Lane, not the greatest start from the outside lane, but it's going to let him slide down into second. And Finsler holds on the third as the battle with Murphy and Orlando Jr. It looks like Orlando Jr. going to take position there through 1 and 2.
You got turn 1 and 2 is really wide, a lot wider than it used to be since they repaved it. That bottom line is where you'd like to be, and now through 3 and 4, it's a completely different animal. Turn 1, it's all about entry, and you want to sit there and sit low and get right to that white line and cruise through there. And 3 and 4, it's basically like a Talladega. You're just wide open all the way around, and it'll cause some great pack racing.
Yeah, it really can. 3 and 4 is sometimes I call it an extra straightaway as such. Like especially when you come here building a setup for a race car, you kind of don't think too much other than how the car rides through 3 and 4 here. When you come to 1 and 2, though, it's all about how you handle and get through there, because that's the critical corner to make speed here. If you're slow through 1 and 2, it don't matter how good you are through 3 and 4. You will not be going through 3 and 4 fast, because it's pretty much a straightaway itself.
Yeah, and I think that's what gets people. Not only are the Xfinity cars typically a little more loose, you're just cruising through 3 and 4, hoping it's sitting right. You're just cruising, and all of a sudden you come to that apex, and it all of a sudden just jumps on you sometimes with these looser setups.
Also, the question we have to ask ourselves: are they good to make it 30 laps here in this stage? I think the first stage very doable. It's going to seem with 65% fuel, 30 laps. I think that's going to be well within the range for these guys. But the next stage point, that's going to go all the way to lap 70. So it's going to be about a 37 to 38 lap run due to cautions, maybe 36 once we get green. So, that's where I'll start to worry about fuel. I think this first stage, no issues with fuel. I think everybody's going to be looking to take this thing all the way to the end of the stage.
Last week we were sitting there talking about the fuel runs, and third stage is really what made that fuel run green flag pit stops come into play. So I did my homework this week, and I think based off of what I was looking at and what I was gathering, I think you can go roughly, give or take, a lap or two, about 37 laps. So yeah, I think we're good on this first stage. It'll make it for a good, interesting second stage, seeing if anyone will try to stretch it, and they'll definitely have to pit in that third stage.
Yeah, I like how they step it up 30 laps, 40 laps, and kind of 50 laps they did. And it adds a different element of strategy each time because that second stage is going to be close to fueling. It's going to definitely fit. Right now, riding with the freaky fast machine, Dylan Wolfman back out here in the 99 machine, right now in 12th right now behind that 33 of Justice third. That DraftKings machine as they come down the front straightaway. Looks like a battle is actually happening behind them with Matt Job and Dane Moore. Looks like Job dropping back in the 89 machine.
Well, good to see Dylan Walter back after his little vacation last week. I'm sure he's got a farmer's tan or something he's been working on, but he started 13th, he's up to 12th. You got Justin Stunner up there, up 4 spots already in the early going.
Yeah, Stunner is definitely moving up the board so far here. He's already up there, like you said there. Next on his list would be David Buell in that 52 machine. Brett Somers in the 9th position. Robert Rader up 2 from 10th to 8th. And right now, also James Lovin 7th to 4th. So some guys definitely moving up, but our top 3, they've kind of been solidified in the same positions. But Ray Lane, he's starting to drop back into the clutches of the 5 of Jason Finsler. And I think Earhart saying, please, guys, race as long as possible here to let me build a gap for that lap 30 stage.
Yeah, and Earhart's keeping the 5 at bay and the 55 with his last field last week. And Earhart wasn't too far behind him, I don't think. But it's good to see Ray Lane running well again. Newcomer, his second race, he ran well next week. So he's looking to build a reputation for running towards the front. A slip up last week had him sent himself to the infield on the front stretch. Otherwise, he had a really great chance of winning that race last week.
Yeah, man, just slipped up there a little bit at the National Super Speedway not to be able to get in position to win that race. He was right there. He was in the spot he needed, but just couldn't get it done. As you see Finsler there, he's overtook Ray Lane, took over the second position now, sets his sights on Earhart. Earhart, that's got to be a tough one. You look at your relative, you see the guy who everybody is looking to beat, get up in a second. That's when your heart starts pounding and saying, I got to hit my marks.
Yeah, you have to. And I was interested to see how far back Ray would fall when Fenster got by him in 1 and 2. Just because he had to go up. I didn't know if he had drifted up, but he had to have let him by because he was able to stick with him for the most part. Fensler's pulling away a little bit now, but that's just maybe he's just got a better car right now. Lane, we know last week before everything happened, he was really trying to experiment with saving his tires and saving his fuel. So maybe he's working on a little bit of a strategy here, hoping for a longer run on tires.
Well, in our notes, we heard that there's going to be a lot of tire saving. If you go out there and run really hard on these tires, they're going to be struggling as this run goes on. And with the sun setting, I can tell you that the grip level is only going to get higher and higher. So these older tires are getting to the point now where they're just getting really, really hot from these fast lap times that they're turning. And right now, Finsler tracking our leader down as we ride on board with Murphy here in the 5th position, about 3 seconds back from the lead. He's got Orlando Jr. directly behind him.
Yeah, you see Orlando is up there towards the top 5. He was towards the top 5 most of last week. I actually think last week he started in 5th and he just lost one position and just rode the sticks nearly the whole entire race. And I believe we're bringing it up. I think he started 5th, and now here he is. He fell back one position. He's rolling around at 6th again.
Yeah, he's had a solid run. That's for sure the last 2 weeks here. Now look at this battle brewing back here. This is the 11 of Peyton Presley, Marshall Wilson in the 23. You also got Eddie Wildermuth in the 81, the 15 of John Magner. All these guys, the 21 Christopher Heights, all battling back here, really from about the 18th position back to 23rd.
Yeah, you had mentioned, or we had mentioned, this mid-pack group. They really have some good tight racing. You know, last week they were all battling for about the 10th position, so now they're here they are up in about coming up to the 20th. Still early, so we'll see how things are starting to shake out. A lot of guys, you know, had some hiccups in qualifying with the lack of grip. So you know, you mentioned guys like Raider. We saw get a little loose off 4 on his first lap in qualifying, and it killed his second lap too, and he started 10th, and he's up to 7th. So a few of these guys starting in the back may not have had the best run they wanted. So you'll see guys battling like they are here.
And looking at the 7th position, Raider is actually taking the position now from London Jr., so he's up to 6th from that 10th starter spot. So really turning some good times in that 53 while even passing. And I tell you what, Earhart has started to stretch the gap back out on Finsler. Finsler got close to him there, but he's opened that gap back up a little bit more. This is making me think maybe Finsler is struggling for some tire wear also.
Yeah, he started, Finsler started off the race a little farther back than I was expecting. I honestly was expecting to get the pole or second after Earhart only had his first lap time, because he went sliding through the infield off 4 on his second lap. So I thought he'd fall off, but no, he was able to keep the pole, and now he's showing speed here. You see Finsler closing the gap again a little bit, but maybe that dirty air isn't helping out too much, trying to get him to complete the pass.
Yeah, I think that's the critical thing. Like you said, dirty air. Following through 1 and 2, very difficult. A lot of off-throttle time. The car is really wanting to push there when you're behind somebody. And then 3 and 4, it's just a lot easier to be the leader out front 3 and 4. It's a lot harder to follow through there, and it's almost somewhat of a straightaway, but with a lot of aerodynamic properties about it. So it's almost the leader gets a big help there. You would think the draft would help, but, you know, towing right there through that corner is just only going to make the car more unstable and not want to go through it as fast. But Finsler, he's putting pressure on him. He's keeping it about 3/10. He's getting closer and closer, and then he'll pull it back out. So that battle's not over yet, but this is back here is Buell and Brett Somers, David Buell. You got Dylan Walterman and Nick Alves here from about that 9th position on back to 12th. Battle.
A great battle here, a hornet's nest, if you will, coming up on 11 laps to go in the stage, and these are all for the final 2 stage points, or 3 stage points really. You got the 52 in 8th. You got Walterman coming on strong here in his return, and you got a couple hungry drivers right behind them.
A lot of hungry drivers here at the Underdog Racing League as Walterman was able to get by. That slots him up tonight. Alves now trying to get by last week's winner, Grant Thorope, in the 77, who's starting to fall back here after his tremendous win at the National Super Speedway. Looks like some damage on the right side of that Dollar General number 77. And damage at Texas Motor Speedway is going to be detrimental, as this track is so much about straight line speed.
Yeah, they do, reminder to the viewers, they do get a fast repair, so he's going to just try to hold on here. As you see, Raider and Orlando are battling pretty well now for 6th position. Orlando got back by him for a minute, and looks like Raider was able to hold him off, though. So all these positions in the back half of the top 10 up for grabs, just great battles.
I also believe Murphy was able to take position from Loveland, who he had major incident. I think he got hard into the outside wall. That car has major right front damage. James Loveland really struggling here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway. Is right now Finsler out front. Oh, Jason Finsler took the lead. Oh man, I'm unsure how that happened, but he got by at 5.
Yeah, I saw that happen. You know, I saw it happen on the ticker, and I was curious of what happened. It looked like he just Earhart maybe run his tires, trying to stay ahead of him and keep the gap going. And now, because you see Fensler got by him, and now the dirty air's flipped around, and you see Earhart dropping back rather quickly.
Yeah, he made that pass down in 3 and 4 looking back at that. So good run for Fensler to get the follow through 3 and 4 here and make the pass coming out of 4 to pass him down in 1 and 2. That was a heck of a job to set that pass up. Now he's looking to set sail here as that's 23 laps in the book, 7 to go here in stage number 1. Jason Fensler looking to get himself another stage victory here at the Underdog Racing.
Yeah, an impressive first stage. Fensler's going to come and, barring any incidents happening, he's going to come up and steal stage 1 from Earhart, but nonetheless, a great run. You see them setting themselves a pretty decent gap back to lane for third, or in third. And you got Justice Murphy. I believe he's trying to creep in on lane. He's been keeping the same pace as Fensler the last couple laps.
Yeah, Murphy's the one I've been watching too. He's creeping into the picture there in that 9 car, and he's a driver I've seen pick it up so much from the Truck Series to the 6 Series car. It's like night and day for this driver. It's really showing his talent when it comes to these off-throttle racetracks and off-throttle style cars like this at the Xfinity car. He's running down Ray Lane at the moment.
Yeah, those top 3 haven't been had much to battle with outside themselves this run. So Justice Murphy trying to get up there and change things a little bit.
Here in the final few moments of this stage, Trevor Earhart is dropping off a cliff here. He's about 3 or 4 tenths slower than these guys a lap. About to see if he can maintain here this lap. Must have been a mistake the lap before, but here comes Raider on Loveland now. He's going to take the 5th position, slide himself up to the top 5 from 10th position. So once we get a stage break, he'll get the reset back up here with everyone. Another good run for this 53, showing why he is a contender week in and week out.
He's had a great run stretch here the last few races. He's looking to build on that and taking advantage of Loveland's damage there. You see Walterman on the 10th spot here with a couple laps to go. He's going to try to hold on to it. Maybe a free fall in Orlando is falling back into his grasp as Alves just went around Orlando for 8th.
And they got time. That's right there. Lap 27 in the books. 3 to go here in the stage. Can Walterman get himself up into the 9th position? Orlando Jr. definitely having troubles here late in the going. Definitely something to do with the tire grip related there. He is falling back like a stone.
Yeah, that's what they're going to get. It's going to be close. Walterman, can he get him? The dirty air may play a factor, but he's definitely quicker though. Orlando, of course I mentioned him, riding around in 6th comfortably, and maybe I put a hex on him.
He's not so comfortable now as he's in the middle of 2 race cars. Looking at Walterman, that's so much more front turn in that 99 machine. He's going to turn down underneath him here, down the back straightaway, and he's going to get that pass done in that 99 machine to slide himself on up to 9th. Dylan Walterman in the freaky fast machine, throwing freaky fast moves out here.
Yeah, now I want to mention the mover of the race so far, Parker Johnson, started 22nd, the 48 machine. He's up to 12th. He's not going to quite have enough time to get up to that top 10, but he's creeping up the standings slowly as well.
Yeah, Parker Johnson definitely the big climber there in that 48 machine. Look, Job in the 89, he's dropped back a mile, 6th to 13th. I mean, same for Grant Thrope, 8th to 15th. A few guys qualifying good. Kevin Orlando Jr., 5th to 10th, with big losses of positions, and that's letting everybody get back in the picture as there waves the stage caution for stage 1, and that's Jason Fensler, your stage 1 winner. I tell you what, Trevor Earhart there, he did not let him get away too much there. I think that'll give him some confidence going into these next stages.
Yeah, it was a good finish of the stage for Earhart to rebound there. Sometimes you get into the middle, this is going to sound weird to say, middle stages of the stage, and you kind of lose your rhythm. You lose a grip, someone goes by you, it takes you a few laps to get back in rhythm. But he was falling back, and then it kind of just laid off, or steadied out and just sat at about 7 6/10 of a second there.
Yeah, he was able to really hold on there as we'll see what these drivers elect to do here under this caution if they want to come down pit road and get service done on these race cars. And I imagine everybody will, but well, everybody, I was going to say with how many sets of tires, but they have 6 sets, so I don't think they're going to be worried about tires tonight with 6 of them available to them.
Yeah, you got that right. Just looking at Matt Job, I was watching him. He was falling back so quick at the beginning of that stage that I thought maybe he had gotten into the wall. At one point, he was down into 16th spot. I was watching him and Jacob Sirkovich because Sirkovich fell in the beginning of the race real fast, and I'm wondering if he had damage to his vehicle. But Matt Job rebounded a little bit there. He picked up a couple positions towards the end of the stage. You got guys mid-pack who have been coming forward slowly after rough quals. So we got everyone, or most people, coming down pit road now for some tires and fuel.
Oh, man, I think Parker Johnson, our big mover in this race, he missed his pit stall there, guys. So unfortunate for him there to miss that 20-second pit stall. He must have forgot how far he qualified back because he was up to that 12th position. Sometimes that's easy to do. So he'll lose all his positions and give that track position up.
Yeah, that's what confused me on that. I was like, everyone's coming down pit road, and then I saw Johnston climbing the standings. I was like, I thought I saw everyone come down pit road. What happened?
A big oof moment for Johnston there. All of us have done that for sure. As Finsler wins that race off of pit road, Earhart going to come out second. It looks like Ray Lane in third, Robert Rader fourth, and Justice Murphy fifth. As I think Loveland, see if he took that fast repair. I believe he did. So got to watch out for that. If you guys elect to use fast repairs with right side damage, that's a risky call, because if there's a wreck and they get caught up or they hit the wall later in the race, I would think to save that till the next stage.
I'm interested in seeing how many people top off here, because right now we're going to come around to 37 to go, and that was right where I'm guessing the pit window is. So this may be a stage somewhat like the final stage last week at Nashville Super Speedway, where some guys might want to come top off now. These guys running up front, running harder than the rest of the guys, they may use a little more fuel, maybe only make it 35, 36 laps.
That'll be very interesting to see if anybody has to save fuel. That'll give us a good clue too for that final 50 lap shootout about how it's going to work out fuel wise, and at least fuel window for them and how far they can go. But we'll have to see how it shakes out here as the pace car lights are off. We're pacing down the back straightaway. Jason Finsler up front here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Seen some great races so far, Ryan. I wouldn't expect nothing less here in this second stage.
Yeah, it's been great racing all around, and Finsler going to the front as he usually does every week, and you got Earhart and Lane in tow. Those three guys haven't missed a beat yet, but tell you what, that gap is closed between that 9 and them. So we'll see what that 9 has for these front 3 guys. You got Buell up there in the top 5 now. Loveland, fast repair, he was doing okay, fell back due to the damage. But here we go. It's going to be green flag racing.
Green.
Yes, it is. Green flag back out, and we're off and away. Jason Finsler, great start for him. He'll slide up to first. That's going to let the 25 of Trevor Earhart there slot into third. Looks like Ray Lane to third. Or sorry, Trevor Earhart second. Ray Lane third. Justice Murphy fourth. And Loveland there in the fifth position. What happened to Robert Rader there in that restart? I'm not sure.
Sure, we got a guy down on the apron. It looked like he got sideways coming off too. Way to save it. I don't know. Couldn't quite catch who that was. He got sideways. He almost pounded the inside wall. If not, he did. But way to keep it out of the way from everyone else behind him.
Well, and I tell you what, Robert Rader, he pitted. That's what he did. He came on topped off in that fourth position. So he was one of the drivers that did what you're alluding to, Ryan, there. So he must have been a little worried about fuel. That makes me think these guys up front are definitely going to have to most likely save some if they want to make it to the end.
Yeah, that was, I believe, hearing that was Sommers who got sideways off too. So great job by him not pulling out that first caution. Well, I guess technically second caution of the race, and wrecking other people's races. I thought for sure he was coming back up in the field.
Yeah, it's always a good job when you can keep a wrecked race car out of harm's way for the rest of the field out there. That's always very respectable from the drivers out there, and we always like to see that action. Is man, right here now, Earhart back out front. Finsler elected to let him go, so I think his call is saving tires here, or is he saving fuel here early in the run because he knows I can save tires and some fuel here early in the run, and then I'll have the good tires at the end and the fuel I need saved. I think that's what Finsler might be employing, but we'll have to watch and see what that 5 does.
You got the 9 car putting pressure on Lane. He kind of missed his mark in 1, and I'm impressed to see he was able to stay in front of Loveland. And now you see him coming up off 4. He's going to look underneath Ray Lane here for 3rd place here, and he's continuing to move forward.
And Murphy get it done down through 1 in the middle, 1 and 2, side by side. A nose ahead for the 9, but here comes the 55 dead even now, pulls the nose ahead down the back straightaway. What's Loveland look to do? He looks to push the 9. 9 still inside here. This is where he wants to be here for this corner, but the dirty air from the 5 in front, can that help him? And also the draft. Looks like he'll get it done. Justice Murphy up the 3rd. Ray Lane back to 4th, and here comes Loveland trying to take 4th from Ray Lane now.
I think the 55 had to check up just a hair in 3 and 4 to keep from pounding that wall. He had to go take that high side. You know, these guys haven't really had up in front, haven't had that much time having to run the high line. They've just been out by themselves. And I think Ray Lane might have been pushing a little bit, lost 2 for 1.
Man, that's unfortunate for him, but it definitely looks like he may be trying to save too also. I mean, you got to think who is in this pack saving. Earhart already pulling out a pretty decent gap, but there's going to be 4/10 cut out of that gap that time by. So I think Earhart had a gap, then he's like, I need to kind of back it down too. It's a cat and mouse game with this tire at the moment. We just who's saving now, who's going then. It's one of those things where you want to keep track position, clean air, but you also want to have better tires also.
And Ray Lane, he has the wherewithal to do this too, to save fuel when it's going to be close. We saw it last week at Nashville. He was dominant all race long up there with Fenster, and all of a sudden third stage he just dropped like a rock, and we ended up finding out he was saving fuel, trying to make it to the end.
And right now, the field's sorting its way out. Looks like back here, Cody Dorsey and David Buell battle for that. Looks like the 8th and 9th position. Yeah, here it is. Dorsey on the outside working that 84 there. Great run for him. He's going to take that position and slot himself up to 8th. So that's 10 positions up for the 84. Cody Dorsey moving to the front.
It's good seeing both these guys running well here in the top 10. I raced with both these guys in another league. So I root for them here on the side a little bit, hoping they have good runs. I know they run well on Sundays. And Dorsey having a great run up 10 spots. And shout out to Dylan Waltzman up to 7th now. He's been slowly moving forward in his return. We love seeing that freaky fast car going forward.
Gotta love it with the freaky fast machine. It's freaky fast. It lives up to the name, that's for sure. As we look back here, this is Dennis still here in the 1 machine. He's fighting off Dane Moore in that 28 machine. They got Grant Thrope, last week's winner from Nashville, and Peyton Presley in the 11 there, all fighting here for about the 14th position on back. So right here, a good little battle heating up here in the top 15.
Yeah, great run for these guys. Without being biased to the freaky fast paint scheme, that PlayStation scheme, I don't know what it is, if it's just because it's basic white, that car just looks so good to me. I love watching it on the screen.
Yeah, I tell you, I like it too.
I have a similar paint scheme myself. It's just plain white in my super late models. Another great series that iRacing offers, and I just can't get away from it. And you got people who say, just white, it's nothing that's special to look at, but I don't know. There's a couple of these paint schemes that are just white, and they look gorgeous to me.
Well, our producer is having a fit, ladies and gentlemen. He's a man of color. he does not like a plain car, that's for sure. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it too, Ryan. I think it looks very clean, and it's very nice looking out there as they still makes laps around the Texas Motor Speedway. But up front, I think it's starting to heat up again. Earhart has got it down to 3/10 with Fensler behind him. But look at Murphy. He had a great run at the end of the long run there. He said, I'm going to be up here challenging now. I want to keep my nose a little bit closer up here because I had good pace.
Yeah, you got Loveland right behind them as well. So you got Loveland taking his fast repair. He's up there in the thick of things. And just want to point out, Raider picked to top off, and Johnston missed his pit stall, so he came in a second time. They restarted back, and I think no closer to 16th. They're already nipping at the butt of 10th place there of Cody Dorsey. They're going to be up there shortly.
Yeah, that's really impressive with Johnston there and Robert Raider. So both of those drivers making their way on up through the field, 11th and 12th. And Johnston, he gave up all the track position that he got to 12th at the end of the stage after starting 22nd. Then he goes back down, gives it all up again, and gets right back there. So wouldn't be surprised to see Johnston could get himself farther up the order. Also went along with Robert Raider, who we've seen up in the top 5 earlier. So great battles all throughout this entire field here. As you look now, Murphy, he's putting the pressure on. That's a guy I want to see get a victory right there in that 9 machine. I think he's due for one, and this would be the perfect place to get it done.
Yeah, Earhart didn't jump out to that lead that he did in the first stage. So I don't know. A lot of it was okay. Fensler caught me later in the stage last time, so I want to try to save tires. But you see, all that's doing is bringing Fensler and Murphy, and you can throw Loveland in there too. They're all within a half a second, so much different race than it was in the first stage. It's making for some exciting outcomes or possible outcomes.
I tell you what, too, definitely interesting line for Earhart. He's opened up the bottom. He's giving the clean air to the 5 nose, and that concerns me. But at the same time, he had a great exit last time. We'll see how that exit continues to work as we ride on board. See if he does it again. See, look where he runs. He runs about a groove and a half up there from that bottom, and it cuts back down. And look at the runoff he gets on the corner. I mean, that's pretty interesting what he's making work there. Fensler right there running just the traditional bottom line. Now, which one is hurting the tires more? That will be the telltale sign once we get longer into this run. Is Earhart hurting his tires doing that? Is Fensler hurting his tires riding directly in the tracks of that 5? Because that's the thing that, riding in dirty air really hurts these tires.
Yeah, you see, it's almost like Earhart's playing cat and mouse. You saw in the backstretch there, he didn't go all the way up to the wall. He sat about the middle of the track. Maybe he's just not trying to. He doesn't want to help Fensler get good run on him, like he did in stage 1 when he got that pass.
We also got Loveland there now. He's took over third in this moment from Murphy. Does he have something for his front too? Because he hit the wall early in the last run. Getting that fast repair, getting that thing fixed up. He's right here now within position. Loveland, we know, very quick at a lot of the racetracks. So he caught the apron right there. That's going to slide on at the racetrack. And going to lose a few good bit of car links to those guys ahead.
Yeah, you got Ray Lane kind of falling off and almost into the grasp of Orlando Jr. It's telling me he's saving as you got Fensler peeking down low. It looked like Earhart maybe missed his mark in 1 and 2, and that's what we alluded to before the race. And it's allowing Fensler to get up on him.
Look at Fensler. He's moved up at that groove and he's cutting down too. So he's trying to figure him out here, get the run. This is going to be the run this time. Same way he set him up before. Run out of 4 here for the 5 machine. Let's see if Earhart can hold him off here as we go down into 1. I believe he's got by. Yes, he has. He cleared that number 25 machine is the 5. Back to the point, looking to get stage 2 victory.
Yeah, he got him just like last time. You see Earhart, we weren't really watching the past the first stage, but it seems like he was running maybe a little different than he was in that first stage, trying to learn, trying to see how much he can save and how much he can fend off Fensler a little more this stage than he did the first stage. And you see Justice Murphy now taking a peek inside Loveland for third place.
Yeah, the battle behind him is brewing as Earhart trying to set his sights back on Finsler, but behind him, Murphy and Loveland, they're doing battle here down the back straightaway. And, the interesting thing is Earhart, he does the line where he runs high and he cuts down low in 3 and 4. You got a car on your inside, you can't cut down, so that line's going to change when you're battling with somebody. So I'd be worried about that also.
Yeah, I'm wondering when Earhart gave up the lead, he kind of maybe checked up Loveland, and that's what got Justice Murphy back to his inside, trying to take advantage of that. And Loveland was able to hold off Justice Murphy as we take a peek at the battle for 5th Bruin between Ray Lane and Orlando Jr.
Yeah, Ray Lane, I think he's saving fuel still. I mean, he's not that far off the lead, so I mean that very well could that he's not saving fuel. But man, just from what I've seen, he should have the pace to be up there with those front 4 battling. I think he may be riding here hoping to win this stage as kind of a out of nowhere type of deal.
This is reminding me a lot of last week. I mean, almost to a T. You had Ray Lane up there in the top 3, battling second, behind Fensler. And then just all of a sudden, he's just falling back, and there's that gap between him and the top 4 now. As you see Buell now all of a sudden creeping up on Orlando Jr.
Oh, man, Orlando Jr. under attack from the 52. There he goes, back to 7th. That's 6 for David Buell. He's ran so much better. Here comes the crossover, though. Run for that 27 machine. Orlando Jr. says, not so fast. You're going to have to take this position the old-fashioned way and make it harder on you as he gets it done. But I think he's going to hit the apron here, might come back to run for the 52.
I call that a classic move. You think you got him, and he gets you right back coming off the corner. Love it move. Love that move.
Got to applaud Orlando Jr. for making that work. But now here on lap 60, we got 11 to go. Going to be 10 to go this time by for the stage at that lap 70 point. We'll see who can pull this off as Fensler at the moment is leading the way, trying to get that second stage victory. Earhart hanging on the second level and all over the back of him. Murphy there also as the top 4 battle. But do they have enough fuel? I think that's the big question all of us ask here at home.
Yeah, we're going to find out shortly, too, because we got 10 to go. Another thing to point out is I'm looking at the splits. Leaders are going to be coming up on some lap traffic in that 7 car of Sommers, who had that hiccup on lap 1 of the stage.
And looking here now, 3 of Jacob Sekovich in that 23rd position at the moment. 22 seconds back from our leader, Jason Fensler. Fensler right now, as Sekovich runs into 3, Fensler comes out of 2. So about a straightaway in between these 2 drivers. I think Sekovich should be able to hang on to the lead lap here. Looking at lap times, though, about 8 to 9 tenths of a second difference. And I can tell you there's a good bit of damage on that 3 also. So that's slowing him up as we look back up in our front battle.
Yeah, we're just in front of the 5 of Fensler, you got Sommers. It's going to be close because Sommers is dropping back. He's about, I don't know, yep, here he is now. He's about a quarter of a straightaway now. And we'll see how he plays into these guys. Maybe not so much Fensler, but those 3 guys right there battling for second.
Somers in that 7 machine. He's going to have them all over the back over here. Dialed in racing machine goes to the high side. Here comes Jason Fensler, our race leader. Here comes Loveland. Next will be Earhart and Murphy as Loveland was able to get a second over Earhart and see if he can track down Fensler, but he's actually going to come out side by side almost Somers, so that's going to hurt him a little bit more than it hurt Fensler. As now down the back straightaway, he makes the pass on Brett Somers.
Yeah, they caught him just at the wrong part coming off 2 there, but good to see Loveland rebounded after that hiccup in stage 1. And let's see if he can reel Fensler back in here with 5, 6 to go now in the stage. And fuel is on our minds. We'll find out shortly if it's on the driver's mind.
we will. We come to 5 to go. I think everybody feels pretty confident about making it, or they're gonna have to go to major conservation because nobody's pit yet that I've seen. I like to see that maybe they feel confident about this. Thing is, you gotta have another lap for a pace lap too. You can't just complete that lap and roll back to the lap because you gotta get back down to the pit box.
Which makes me wonder if they can make this easily, because you're right. If it was close, I think we would have seen a few people come top off by now. So you got Ray Lane sitting in 5th place. Maybe either he was thinking he'd be a little short, he saved when he didn't have to, or maybe he's just not as quick as these other guys that have found something here in stage 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's very well the case. I've seen races where drivers just fall off for some reason. The track changes, the conditions change, something out there changes to them. It just doesn't stick as we're going to be starting lap 67 here. We're looking to go to 3 to go next time by. I think, like I said, nobody pitted yet, so I think everybody's going to attempt to make it.
Yeah, and granted, Ray Lane isn't that slow. He's still quick. It's just these top 4 are in a class of their own right now. And you see Justice Murphy's fallen back a little bit compared to the other 3 drivers, Earhart, Loveland, and Fensler. But these top 4 are just putting on a blistering pace compared to the rest of these guys.
Yeah, they really are at the moment. Is Loveland. He is not letting up on Fensler. This is shaping up well for a battle possibly at the end of this race that these two can race, because look at this. Loveland, they're all going to get a little tight out of 4. They're going to lose a little bit of ground here as we coming by 2 to go here. And 68 laps in the book. We're looking for that stage at lap 70. Nobody hitting pit road yet. Looks like they'll be good on fuel. Fensler out front, though, trying to get that second stage victory of the night.
Yeah, pulling ahead quite a bit now after Fensler, or after Loveland got tight. I will note, we don't talk about it often, about the whole teammates thing. They do team standings and all that. Loveland and Earhart are teammates, and as dominant as Fensler has been, the F5E Motorsports team of Loveland and Earhart are actually leading the points by a bit of a margin. You got Fensler sitting in second with his teammates. You got Justin Stunnard, who's had a rough start to the year, and they're actually second in points. So if Fensler ends up running away with these this championship like the other guys do, or like he did last year, we could always watch the team's standings.
That's very true. Team standings will be a big point for the rest of the season, I think. So, and oh, there it is. Caution for the end of the stage. Jason Fensler, your race winner, or not race winner, stage winner. I jumped ahead of myself there, as he's gonna win that second stage. And I think it's 6 stages almost in a row for this guy.
Well, when he has a hiccup this last stage, I'm pointing my finger at you for jinxing him.
Well, technical stages, you know, because you don't get rewarded technically a stage win for the final race win. That's the race win. So he's had 6 stage wins with the Freaky Fast Grand Slam at Homestead, and then 2 stage wins at Nashville last week, and 2 stage wins here. That's a heck of a run for this 5 machine.
He got he got remnants of Martin Truex there with winning all the stages.
Good old MTJ, definitely wishing he could win those stages like he could before, because, man, those things were racking points up for him. And that's what these drivers are looking to do, too. So let's see what they do here, is they'll be looking to come to pit road and get them 4 tires and fuel. Fensler with the lead, though. He's giving up the lead every other time. My thing is, here, this run here, you're going to have to pit. These guys might split it up and do a undercut. We'll have to see what his pace is like when he has to push the car, though.
I'm curious of what happened to Orlando, because he was running up there, and I just saw him falling down the standings here. He's sitting at 17th now. On the other spectrum, you got Matt Job, who fell way back in the first stage. and now he's back up into the top 10. Makes me think he did get damaged in that first stage, and now he's rebounded well, along with Johnston back up to 10th. Hopefully, he makes his pit stall the first time.
Yeah, he's definitely hoping he gets there this time. I think he will. Yes, he does. He gets in the box. So Parker Johnson not going to miss the box this time. He won't lose no track position. That'll be good for him to see where he can get up to.
Yeah, we're watching the race off pit road. Will the 5 take off in the lead this time? Oh, they're going to be 3 wide. And it looks like Fensler's going to be coming out 3rd, and we have issues with the 9 car on pit road. You see he's just sitting here now. He is just, you know, I recognize this move. I've done it myself before. He may be just using the bathroom. I do that often.
He didn't change tires. That's the only thing that concerns me. You would think he'd get that done first.
Yeah.
But he is I think some connection issues possibly because, or is he getting in and out of the race car? That's another thing. So.
Oh, you know what? He might have that iRacing glitch where you can't change your tires, so you're leaving the car and getting back in it, trying to get your pit crew, you know, back from the ice cream break real quick.
And I will say he does have a spotter in the session. That glitch can happen with spotters. Or say his spotter is set as his pit crew chief, he won't be able to change it. So yeah, there's definitely something going on there with Murphy, and that's terrible for him because man, he's gonna go from top 3 possible to almost dead last now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and you know, having a good run, you got you know, you go to make pit stops and your pit stop doesn't work out the way you want to, you lose all that time. Hopefully he can get it figured out. You know, you got Thorpe. Thorpe is in the lead right now. It's being shown in the lead right now. And Earhart coming off pit road ahead of Fensler. And I guess Fensler did sneak out ahead of Loveland. So he would be the second one off pit road, I believe. I wonder what's going on with Thorpe.
Yeah, I want to see. He only took 2 tires. Actually,
that is an interesting
no,
move.
he took 4 tires. This is, I don't know how he got the lead. Oh man,
we were so busy and concerned with the 9 car that the that the positions are all jumbled up. We don't know. Oh, maybe no, that's not him getting the wave around.
we're getting some weird numbers with his pit road time, so. But somehow we're finding out he pit a lap before these guys. I don't know how he pulled that off.
Did he maybe come down on the white flag of the stage?
Well,
That's the only thing I could think of.
Already out. I think the first group of guys missed pit road.
That's the only thing I can think of, because it's showing him pit at lap 71. Everyone else pit on lap 72. The caution comes out on 70, so
yeah,
maybe they were all talking amongst each other about the great racing they're having. No one's brought out a caution yet. You know, Thorpe just kept them distracted with the sleight of hand and slid down pit road.
Well, man, back out front for Thorpe here after winning last week at Nashville. We'll see. Pace cars in. Green flags back out in the way. The 77 Grant Thorpe is off. And that's going to put Trevor Earhart up in second. Jason Fenzer third. James Loveland fourth. This is going to shake it up here a little bit, guys, with Thorpe out front now. As one at Nashville last week had, oh, no!
Oh.
What was that? What a save.
Similar to what Somers did to start the second stage. That's almost identical to what I saw. And going back to the 9, our big mover of the race, of the 48 of Johnson's now being scored is out, and you got Orlando who's back in 17th. They were battling towards the end of that stage, and now you see the 28 going through the infield. And I'm starting to think it's Halloween, or maybe it's Friday the 13th on the sim or something, because now all of a sudden everything's getting twisted up.
Yeah, this is definitely started very weird for this final run to the end of this race. But these drivers out front making laps. Earhart out front. Philip Loveland, though, he was able to get by, and so was Ray Lane able to get by Finsler. So Finsler giving up track position here to save the tires. But my thing is, you got to pit too. So how much, do these guys pit before you even get back by them? Is my question.
Yeah, they definitely have to pit. Just some crazy stuff happening. It's looking like, where was it? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, Matt Jobe. It looks like he's rebounded well, and he's in 7th now. He's taken advantage of some hiccups that he had early on, and he's learned from his mistakes, and it looks like these other guys are just chaos all over the track.
Lead change up front, James Loveland. What a move from him to take the lead over Trevor Earhart here on lap 79 of 120. What a move from that driver there as we have 41 to go. The 56 of James Loveland, first time he's led all night. Took that fast repair early. We'll see if it comes back to bite him, but he's been looking strong ever since he's got that right front fixed. He's been flying forwards. I think Finsler, he's starting to press forward a little bit too, because he's all over the back of the Ray Lane there through the entry. But here comes Walterman in the 99. He's got to run on Finsler possibly.
Yeah, Walterman's up to 5th. First time sneaking in the top 5 all race long, so he's having a great run. Curious to see Loveland up front now. First time, like you said. He was fast, so if Fensler gets back around Earhart in about 20 laps, or even Lane can get up there. Curious to see what they have for Loveland now that Loveland has clean air, and now these guys have to battle with dirty air.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge factor, I think, here to how this all plays out. Loveland, first time out front in the clean air, that's gonna affect your car differently than you've had all night. So you gotta be prepared for what balance it brings to that race car, as at the moment he's out front. Finsler is still locked behind Ray Lane there in 4th with Walterman in that 5th position. But I tell you what, you gotta make a pit stop. A green flag pit stops are one of the scariest situations you have to make as a driver when it comes down to for a race win. It's so easy to end up losing the race right on pit road. So much easier to lose it on pit road than to win it on pit road.
I can agree with that wholeheartedly. And getting on pit road here, it's simple to get on here, but the braking point is actually still up on the track in the middle of 3 and 4. Kind of about right where Buell is now is where you start hitting on the brakes, and you don't want to make the mistake of trusting the guy behind you to get woed up in time, because like we've mentioned, 3 and 4, you're full throttle. There's no letting up. So you really got to let people know you're coming down pit road. And not only that, coming off pit road here, they've widened 1 and 2, which makes the pit exit that much more narrow and very loose. A lot of guys can loop it off too. I've done it before, trying to get up to speed and get up to speed as quick as you can with how fast-paced this track is.
I think another factor these guys got to watch out. Usually when you come up pit road, the colder tires are worse also. You don't have that pace lap to really get them warmed up. So you got to be prepared for that. Is Finsler making the strong move to take over 3rd. That was critical for him to get that done before these two out front here got away, because Earhart and Loveland were starting to pull car lengths on those guys from 3rd on back. Finsler gets the job done here. Here comes Walterman. He's been looking very strong here late in the going in that 99 as he creeped forward for a top 4 possibly.
He's having a great run. He was down about missing last week. He said he loves Nashville Super Speedway, and I don't know. I love some tracks too. I love Texas, but I also love vacation. I know where my heart lies.
That is for sure. As you can see, Walterman still prowling on Ray Lane. Finsler not got too far away from Ray Lane, as right now Loveland hanging on to it out front of Charlie Earhart. And those two are teammates, like you brought up there, Ryan. That's going to be critical too. You know, they're going to be racing each other much more easy than they had raced that 5 machine trying to hold him back from your teammate.
That may have led to a quick pass too. Earhart likes to jump out in these early runs. He's pretty quick, and you know, maybe he was like, you know, hey partner, you're faster than me. I'm just gonna let you go real quick. Let's not waste time battling here, because that 5 car is coming on at these later stages of the run.
At the moment, looking at Christopher Heights, 17th position, of 15 seconds back from leader James Loveland. Kerberg in front of him about 2 seconds in that 16th position. And Grant Thropus restarted out front. He's dropped back all the way to the 15th position, so really fell off for that 77 machine.
Yeah, and you see some damage over there to Christopher Heights' right rear. Makes me wonder if he got sideways and backed her into the wall just a little bit, and it's causing him some time here on the track.
Oh, and race leader James Loveland so close to the wall. My heart skipped a beat for him there as they came off a 2, flirting with that wall and flirting with disaster out front here as we come by the complete lap. 89, 31 to go. When did the pit stops happen is my question. I think it's probably going to be looking to happen here in the next 5 laps.
You got you got the waiting game going on now. Once one of these guys in the front go, you're going to see everyone else starting to follow shortly behind. You got guys, you know, farther back like Alves, Rader, Wilson. They might try to shortcut it a little more than these guys out front and pick up time, because although they're back there a bit, you know, as we're about 20 laps on the run now, 5.5 seconds, you can make that up real quick if you pit just 4 laps before the rest of the leaders.
Undercuts, overcuts, that's what the drivers are going to be thinking about. When do they want to pit road? We'll see who's the first to bite, because like you said, the first one to do it is going to trigger a lot of pit stops. I think Christopher Heights in the 21 is actually the first one to hit pit road there in the 21. Yeah, so he goes ahead and hit pit road from that 18th position, but he's not going to be a factor when it comes down to what it cycles out here. But Earhart getting pressure now in that 2nd position from Finsler. This is critical for Earhart to hold the 5 off and let his teammate grow his gap and help his chances to win this race.
Yeah, you had mentioned Christopher Heights going down pit road. I was wondering if he was trying to pit just to shortcut, fix that damage, and just, you know, like you said, not be a factor in the race, but you know, pick up positions he can. But you know, he's making a smart move there. He has damage to his car. He wasn't making up any time. As you see, Fensler now to the inside of Earhart for a second.
What a battle. Earhart fighting hard, but that outside groove just cannot make it work when you're side by side. Finsler going to get it done. He's going to be put up the second now, about 9/10 back from James Loveland. Going to be completing lap 93 that time, to coming back by this time for 94. And 26 to go this time by. When do they hit pit road? They can't make it to the end. That's what we're all questioning right now. If you hit pit road too early, a caution comes out, you're going to look like a 0. But if you hit pit road at the right time and you come out here and get the ground up, you're going to look like a hero.
Hey, true words have not been spoken. You got Earhart has got to be frustrated. Fensler has passed him 3 times in these 95 laps, and all 3 times were the same way. So, you know, Earhart's just got to be shaking his head, trying to figure out what he can do to be, you know, hold that 5 car off. And maybe green flag pit stops are what it takes. And these shortcuts just, before he falls back too soon, shortcuts and makes up that time.
Out front. Lap 95 in the books there. It's like Loveland there, and he pulls the gap on Finsler, so he's starting to gap him a little bit. And we haven't seen Finsler have to pass Loveland yet. This is the one driver who was actually pressuring him at the end of the last run. So this could be the point where it's switching into the 56's hands. Let's see if he can start to open up the gap before we hit pit road. This is a critical time to put time on your competition is when you get ready to hit pit road, because here comes Finsler. This time, 25 to go, like I thought. Same with Ray Lane.
Yeah, you had guys starting to pit towards the back. Kevin Orlando Jr., Rob Rader, Peyton Presley all coming down pit road as well just before these guys.
If you're a Loveland, you have to get in this time. Same with Earhart. Maybe Earhart actually might stretch it a lap here, as he's already going to lose that position, most likely, to Finsler. We'll see if Loveland does it. Well, coming down this time, you got to make no mistakes. 40 or 45 mile an hour on pit road. Does he get it wound up? Yes, he does. Earhart behind him, though, man. I don't know if he got that thing slowed up in time. Yeah, that was a pretty sideways entry. And, Marshall Wilson exited in front of the 56 level. Don't think that's going to cause an issue here as he comes to his box. No slide through for the 56 machine, I believe. Yes, he does. He gets it perfectly in there. We'll see where he comes out in comparison to Jason Finsler's Earhart. Big moment.
Earhart overshot his pit stall, and that was a smart move by Fensler to jump down a lap early, because when he had taken over second, he was 8/10 back, and he was still, slowly trickling backwards. He was a tad bit slower. He had fallen to a little over a second. So he's going to try to make up that 1 second here.
It's going to be close.
Undercutting.
It's going to be real close. I think Lovewood did it, though. He pulls back out on the racetrack. He's still ahead of Jason Finsler, about, I'd say, 6 to 7 car lengths still the gap. So he did an amazing job entering and exiting pit road, but the tires are not up to heat yet. Finsler's closing the gap. Can he get by him is going to be the key here, as Walton is still yet to pit out front. The battle for the race lead to come, though, is happening right here behind all this. Here it is. Jason Finsler on the warm tires, 1 lap older. He's coming to the back of James Lovell here early in the going.
Yeah, and you got the 9 car coming off pit road, almost getting with them. It's not going to affect them too much. Loveland's battling. We've seen all race long. Loveland's pretty good on that short run, along with Earhart. But Fensler able to make the pass.
Wow, what a move. And I think Loveland here, thinking big picture, I think he thinks he can get back by him, but can't let him get too far out there, because you're going to have to really put a big charge to get back by. And huge wreck. Justice Murphy goes around Ray Lane. I don't know how there's no yellow yet. There is the yellow. And, that's going to change the whole game here, as these guys are a lap down. And, no, I'm not sure Finsler got his lap back there, because if not, then Loveland doesn't get the lucky dog. That puts him in a terrible situation.
That's a real terrible situation, and unfortunate for Ray Lane. Just made that pit stop, was having another good run, and he gets taken out by whoever's fault it was. Justice Murphy involved, and he's had a rough last stage here.
And what a heavy hit there. He's losing the rear. Ray Lane nowhere to go. Justice Murphy, that is just unfortunate for him. Also, Ray Lane getting taken out of a top 5 position. But this has really shook things up now, kind of like National Super Speedway, though, because now I believe Jason Finsler, he's going to be the lucky dog. James Lovewood, though, from that position on back in 7th, they're going to have to take the wave around, and I'll tell you right now, that's not going to be good. They're going to be on older tires, so that's going to hurt their chances. We'll see how it plays out, though, here.
Yeah, it's going to put 6 guys in front of that. Well, Fensler's going to have to go to the back of the line anyways, because he's the lucky dog. So with less than 20 to go, Fensler again with a green flag pit stop not cycling through, he's going to have some work cut out for him. There's only going to be maybe 6 cars in front of the guys who are taking the wave around, and then where Fensler comes out with that lucky dog, it's going to shake up the field a little bit. And how about that? Walterman coming back, and he's going to have the lead here with about 16 to go when we go green.
Freaky fast broadcasting car looking great out there tonight at Texas. Already got one win in that back pocket at the Daytona Super Speedway. Dylan Waltman, though, doing a great job to represent the Freaky Fast brand as he's showing out very fast. And I think Nick Alves, he's going to be up to second too there with Matt Job up to third. I believe Dane Moyer, or no, that's going to be Jason Finsler, it says on our ticker right now in fourth, but we'll see. I believe Dane Moyer should slot to fourth once it all goes through. But man, Walterman, Alves, Job, they got a shot here. Something like Grant Thropad. You know, we're going to see, I think, Finsler charge pretty quickly through here. But at the same time, he's got a lot of work to make up.
Yeah, you see Fensler going down pit road now, so he's gonna fall back, which makes me believe Loveland. Loveland's yeah, he's got to be taking the wave around, I think. I'm showing, them all ahead. Yeah, so Loveland's going to be the first one to take a wave around. Fensler's going down pit road. My question, Zach, now Fensler has to start tail end because he's the lucky dog. Does he have to start behind the wave arounds, or no, the wave arounds have to drive around when the one to go, so Fensler will be ahead of the wave arounds.
Yes, he will be around the wave around. So that is a big thing for him, is he's really not going to start that far back, really. It's only probably going to start about sixth.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I thought. I just had to talk myself through the lucky dog rule, that's all.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Without these wave rounds, it would have definitely set him back a good bit. But with the wave rounds, I think it's going to hold him in that position. We'll see, though. Once they get waved around here, we'll see how it all shakes out, because there's a lot of waivers here. I mean, it's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 10 wave cars. So, I mean, it's a good group of them there from Loveland all the way back to Heights.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ray Lane, it's not scoring him as out yet. But when he got caught up in that wreck, I can't recall a reason he would have used his fast repair yet. I didn't see any engine smoke, so I'm wondering if he just didn't know about the fast repair or just didn't think of it. And towed his car to the pits. Now he's sitting on pit lane waiting for the tow, and then he gets to use his fast repair.
That's very possible. It could be that. Or if you don't have that fast repair checked before you tow, it will not let you check it once you're in the box. And he could have been in that situation. So he could be stuck having to get the required repair. Unsure if that's what's going on for him, but that's unfortunate, getting caught up in that incident there. That brought out our third caution of the night. But now get ready, everybody, because we're getting all waved back around. 1 to green here, 16 to go. We're going to have 15 to go once we take the green flag. Walterman in the Freaky Fast machine going to restart up front. This should be one wild show here. Looks like Finns are going to restart in that 6th position. So not that far back. It's going to be tough to hold that 5 machine off.
And just note, Walterman is the leader. He's decided to take the outside lane. And you got Fensler restarting 6th, but it looks like that's going to be about the 8th car on the track.
Yeah, it does actually like about the 8th car. So, yeah, not exactly 6th there as we go back green. Walterman, though, off and away as he's going to get a great start to get him out jumped ahead. Dane Moyer, looks like Nick Alves and Matt Job really battling hard. Looks like Finsler trying to work his way up, but you got to remember, Loveland. Oh, Loveland, did he go around? He reckoned. That's the caution. And that's going to help, I think, Walterman.
Yeah, and Walterman, mind you, he was not that slow. He was up there battling in the top 5 with those guys, so he, he's loving seeing this because he's not that much slower than the guys that were running in the lead. if at all slower. You know, maybe he was just stuck in dirty air and he was riding around in fourth, fifth, and he'd been slowly moving up all race.
He's definitely been picking up the pace in a 99 machine. And you know, these guys are hungry up here for a win. Dane Moyer, Nick Alves, Matt Job, Scott Kerrick. These guys are very hungry for a race win of their own. And they're not going to give it up easy to the likes of Jason Finsler, the rest of these guys. Now, I also believe that the guys who just took away this caution here is going to help them. You know, Loveland was one guy who wanted to see a caution. He didn't want to be the caution like he was, but he is one guy who wanted to see the caution because he was a wave around driver. Where now they'll be able to go and get their tires situation fixed here and get back on the same tire strat as the rest of these guys.
Yeah, and they won't. You'll probably see guys outside the top 10 take it. There are only 14 cars on the lead lap. Now this does help Fensler a little bit because, you know, like we had alluded to, he was the 8th car on track at the last restart. And yes, he was charged, but now he gets to reset. He's much closer to the leader. So I mean, 99 is kind of on one hand, all right, it's gonna knock off some laps. We reset. On the other hand, well, these guys that are fast that were stuck mid-pack now get to reset a lot closer to your rear bumper.
That is very, very true. This takes laps away. I think that's a big thing for him too. If Walter can get that similar start right there, it's gonna be tough to catch him out front. But man, don't put it against Finsler. If you say he can't do it, that man will go out there and do it. Let me tell you that. He's so impressive with his skills behind the car. But man, like I said, Alves, Moyer, Job, Kerber, these guys haven't got a win yet. They're looking for that first victory. They're going to be fighting super hard here for this.
Yeah. We've got a lot of these guys up front that are up front hungry, and the other drivers that were a lot, yeah, Earhart, Loveland, Raider, Ray Lane, all these guys are out or laps down now. Johnston was a hard charger. It's really shaking up the field in this top 10, and people are going to be hungry to take advantage, similar to Nashville last week.
Yeah, this is definitely somewhat of a curveball like we had last week at Nashville for these drivers. Is we got a great group of drivers up front, but a group of drivers that we haven't seen up front this race. So that's the one cool thing we got here with 12 to go. And I tell you, looking at even Nick Alves and Matt Job, who were regulars, finishing in the top 10, top 5 in the Truck Series, never got a win in that Truck Series. So this right here is possibly their chance for a first win, possibly at the Underdog Racing League. I'm unsure if before this season they have got one before, but during my freaky fast time here, they have not. So if they were able to pull one off, it would be amazing to see.
And then you have Orlando Jr. in 10th. You got Thorpe in 9th. Those guys have been struggling somewhat. You know, you had Thorpe have that. You don't want to call it odd, but it was definitely a wacky pit strategy that got him the lead, and he only had the lead for about 2 corners. So good to see him pick up in the 10th spot after he went sideways off 2 to start stage 3. Orlando's been having a roller coaster race. Looks like he's starting to move back forward. Walterman's been doing nothing but forward, so hopefully, you know, for him, he's looking for his second win. He's the Daytona winner, so coming back from vacation all re-energized and showing who's boss.
Yeah, that sometimes those vacations can be just what you need as a driver. Get your mental off of the racetrack and get some thoughts on good things in life, and makes you enjoy your time here more at the racetrack even more. So definitely cool to see Walterman out there, and shout out to Sam out there in the chat, one of our casters here in the other nights. Like the name change, Sam. I like it, man. I like it a lot.
You got Kerberg sitting up here in 5th right now. He's our biggest mover. Up looks like 20 spots. So you got him, Walterman up 12 spots. Dane Moyer 13. All these big drivers, big movers up front. A lot of it was strategy. They waited it out, maybe learning from last week where the green flag pit stops came out to haunt the guys that tried undercutting, and now, regardless of if Fensler and these other guys get back by them, they're going to finish in a lot greater position than what they would have without, with shortcut.
Let's see how it works out. Pace car is in. From the outside lane, Walterman goes in that 99 machine. That's going to be a great start for him, but also a good start for Fensler in that third lane. He's going to work that out of groove, already get up to the fourth position, so 2 spots up for the 5 machine. As we head through 1 and 2, you're going to look at the battle here heating up. Job Alves out in front of the 5 as the 99 tries to dart away in the final 10 laps. 3 wide down the back straightaway, middle of 3. Does Fensler back out? Yes, he does. Good decision there not to get caught up in that. Now here comes the 28 Dane Moyer down to the inside. It's getting feisty here as Job's holding off here. Waltzman loving what he's seeing in the mirror.
Yeah, you had the 89 get a little sideways, and I think the 5 hesitated, and that's almost what put them 3 wide. Fensler just stuck behind traffic as the 24 and 89 were battling, and 24 had the preferred line, so he must have had a little tight. He might have pushed a little bit or got a little loose, because that helped Fensler. And now Fensler's got his sights on Walterman with 9 to go.
And here he comes, Fensler up the set. Oh, Walterman misses the bottom in 3 and 4. Big loose moment. Here comes Fensler. Did the pressure get to him? We'll have to see here. 8 to go. Can he fight on the outside? I don't think he can as Fensler drives it in deep. Here comes the 99. Back around. No, he cannot get it done as Fensler back to the home lead. He's looking to get this victory here tonight.
Yeah, unfortunate event there for the 99. Just missed his mark, and we've said it all race long. You miss your mark here. As you see the 99 coming up, come back.
He's coming right back. Here's a side draft down the front straightaway. It ain't over until the fat lady sings, and she ain't singing, ladies and gentlemen. Freaky Fast Machine is charging forward. He's going to slide up, though. Here comes the crossover. Big move from Fensler down the back stretch. Can Walterman side draft him back? He needs to get on that quarter panel, that 5, and pull him back here side by side down into 3. Can Walterman get it done? That outer groove, though, just not been able to work, and he's losing the rear. He's going to be sliding back here off of 2 or 4.
Yeah, he's having a great battle. I can't believe he got back up there, and he's got to run on the 5 again right here. I don't know if the 5 just missed his corner. In 3 and 4, it's an easy corner, but that 99 came out of nowhere.
Oh, and Fensler out front a little bit loose. I mean, when you get out front, the balance does change. You get a little more air on the nose of the car. Still want to rotate a little more. Maybe that balance not the greatest out front for that 5 machine. Here comes the 99 again. He's sliding off of 4. That's not going to work. 6 to go here, 5 to go. Now, Fensler pulling a 3-car length gap down into 1.
Yeah, I think this is a product of watching these guys. They've been tire saving well with these 2 quick cautions. They're pushing now. This is the hardest they've had to push all race. You see it. You see the product of them pushing. Guys are getting sideways. We got good battles all throughout the pack outside the top 5 here.
What a battle here for the lead for the race. 4 to go. Matt Job, though, up into that top 3. Great run for him. Alves in 4th. Looks like Moyer right now hanging on to 5th, as it looks like the 52 machine of Will who's trying to break there into that 5th position. So top 5 run for him there, as here comes Orlando Jr. Also, the battles all around the racetrack.
Yeah, we're having a great battle here for the 5th spot. I hate saying this, but you guys might lose me. I'm starting to lose power at my house. These storms that we've had in the Midwest here, I'm really hoping I get to see the end of this race.
And it's definitely coming out to be a barn burner here. 3 to go. Look at that Alves here in that 4th position now. Back up front. Fensler comes off of 2. Going to have about a 5-car length gap down the back straightaway. It's been opening up ever since that big slide from the 99 off of 4. Fensler, though, it's got to be mistake free, though. That's the one thing he cannot do, is make a huge mistake. Going to be 2 to go here. Fensler looking for that 3rd win of the season. Couldn't get the trifecta of a 3 in a row last week, but now coming back after that caution, almost get him in the same position as the National Super Speedway. He's going to rebound, though. as he comes down the back straight. Gonna be looking for the white flag this next time by.
Yeah, another great run for Fensler. We'll call it, he's going to take the sweep here tonight if he can hold on, and not quite as good as the Grand Slam, but he'll take a sweep for sure.
White flag one final time here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway for the Underdog Racing League. Jason Fensler looking to stamp himself with a third victory of the season. Walterman wants that second to tie Jason Fensler. Just cannot get there, though. Job trying to hold on to third with Alves coming into the picture here quickly on the final corners of this race. 3 and 4. Fensler, no mistakes. He's going to bring it back home. Race victory number 3 of the season for the 5 machine as Walterman's going to come home second and Matt Job comes home third. As that was tonight's race here at the Texas Motor Speedway.
Great recovery for Matt Job after an early hiccup, had him losing many spots. He fell to 17th at one point in that first stage. So great rebound for him. Great run by Walterman in his return. Alves, Buell, Orlando having a roller coaster of a race, as I said earlier, and able to come back and finish there in 6th.
Wow. That is a great job by Fensler to rebound there. You know, many drivers would have got down in that situation, maybe not got back in position. But I tell you what, he did it in that 5 machine. He's got that thing in the victory lane here to celebrate on the front straightaway. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. We'll be back in a few moments as we go get our top 3 finishers here for our post-race interviews. All right, we are back here, everybody, for the Underdog Racing League for their Xfinity Series here tonight, the Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to have our post-race interviews here as we got our third place man, Matt Job, in this 89 machine for a great top 3 here tonight at Texas. Let's talk to Matt right now. Hey, Matt, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I do, Zach. How you doing?
Doing good, man. I tell you what, great run for yourself tonight, man. You qualified in that 6th position. Kind of dropped back throughout the first 2 stages there, but man, late in the going there, the caution is timed out perfectly for you there, man. Take us through those late battles. They bring home this top 3 here tonight.
Yeah, I qualified well and just kind of fell back there. I got the wall a little bit. That didn't help, but it was just so loose early in the run. I was just being a little extra cautious, I think, and just kind of waiting. It probably killed me on stage points today because I don't think I got any stage points, but finished third. I was up there. Took me all race to get up there, but happy with their place.
Yeah, it definitely was a great finish there for you, man. Like you said, drop back earlier in the race, able to get yourself back up there in position. You know, coming down the end, we've seen a lot of guys sliding around there. How difficult was it on fresh tires there? Because it looked on cold tires to be very slick out there.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 laps were real slick, and then few laps were good, and then it seemed like it got tight. So definitely a weird setup, but yeah, those first couple laps of the run were pretty sketchy. I'm surprised there weren't more cautions than there were. Everybody did pretty good holding on to it.
Yeah, you guys did a fantastic job here tonight to hang on to your race cars out there on the racetrack. We saw how loose and how sideways they were on those opening laps, man. So congrats on third here tonight, Matt. Before we let you get out of here, man, anybody wants to send a shout to?
I just got to say hi to my daughter Kendall. She's probably watching, and just to you guys, keep up the good work. Good broadcasts.
Well, we appreciate it, Matt. You have a great night, and we will catch you at Kansas next week.
All right, thanks. You too.
All right, that was Matt Job in the 89 machine. Would bring home that third place finish here tonight. As we move on to the freaky fast Brembo machine there, that 99 of Dylan Walshman, winner at Daytona to kick off the season here to open it up. But gotta say, this might be his best run of the season. Let's talk to Dylan. Hey, Dylan, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
I do.
Hey, buddy, man, I tell you what, the freaky fast machine looked great out there tonight, buddy. Back from your week off vacation there. And I tell you what, buddy, starting at 13th position, and it just got better and better. It seems like from every restart and every run. Take us through the progression tonight, man, because it just seemed like you got quicker and quicker as each run went on.
Well, come to find out, after the first stage, I realized I was only running at 3/4 throttle, so I had to go in and recalibrate my pedal. And even then, it still didn't help, but it helped a lot more than what I was doing earlier.
Well, that's amazing that you can even pull off what you did with 3/4 throttle, man. That's a feat in itself right there. Now, right there, you stay out late, you catch the caution, you restart with the lead. Take us through the battle there with Jason Finsler. We know he's the guy to beat week in and week out. It's got to be tough to have that 5 behind you, bearing down on you. But man, you went right back at him, almost got it done, but he got the crossover done. Take us through that battle because it was so much fun up here in the booth.
Honestly, if it wasn't for my teammate Nick, I was just about to come on to pit road, and he's like, stay out, somebody wrecked. And I'm like, okay, so I stayed out. So that's what helped us get there. And then our plan was to try and not block, but be very aggressive to not let Fensler by. And it just wasn't a thing. And I had a crossover on him. I got right up on his bumper in 3 and 4, and then I just power slid it through the corner. And I think if I didn't do that, I had a shot there with 2 to go, but I did that and I just heated the tires up. So that's what cost me the race there.
Yeah, we've seen that mega slide there you had coming off of 4 that one time. That was a great catch to hold on the second there still. And that definitely seems like it did those tires in there, just upset them for those final few laps, man. But I tell you what, great run nonetheless. Got that win in Daytona to kick off the season. Now we head off to Kansas next week. I think this car at Kansas, it should set up for a pretty multi-groove track, I would hope. How you feeling about there?
Oh, I am a fan of Kansas. That's probably my favorite track to go to, only because of, like you just said, it's a multi-groove track. It provides racing, and that's just what I like about it. And I'm that person where I like to run up at the wall there. And most tracks, I try to run the bottom because I'm too scared of that wall.
Well, we'll see if you can tame the wall next week. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch you guys go to the battle. We got some momentum build up here now in Texas. But before we let you get out there and get prepared for Kansas next week, Dylan, anybody want to send a shout to, man?
Nick for helping me with that caution, Jason with the great racing there at the end, and then Justin with the league allowing us to do this every week, and you guys coming back to broadcast it, doing a great job.
Well, we appreciate you running the colors, man. It looks great out there each and every week. You do a fantastic job out there for us, too, man. So congrats on second here tonight, and maybe next week we'll be talking to you in Victory Lane, Kansas.
I hope so. You guys have a great night, too.
You too, buddy. All right, everybody. That was Dylan Walterman, your second place man in that 99 machine. But let's move on to your past series champion, Jason Finsler. Third win of the season here in the opening 5 races. So 3 for 5 so far. This man, we know he likes to rack up the wins. Let's hear from the 5 machine. Hey, Jason, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, a hard-fought victory here tonight, man. We've seen you win at Daytona, then Homestead. Didn't go to Nashville. We thought the third win was in the books for 3 in a row. Came up a little bit short there with the caution. Then tonight, almost a similar picture playing out. But, man, you fought back to get the victory. take us through those final moments, having to restart there in that 6th position and get yourself back to the lead.
Yeah, hard fought is an understatement. Man, these guys have got really good pace, and I hadn't really ran the car hard on new tires throughout the race just because you had to save them so much. So when we started 6th there and got cleared, boy, she was pretty loose. So just tried to hit my marks, and Dylan had a really good run, and it was actually a very entertaining race from my standpoint.
Yeah, that it was. It was very, very fun to watch. We see a lot of guys, go backwards, go forwards, a lot of sliding loose race cars on them opening laps on those cold tires. It was very, very fun to see you guys shaking it up there. We seen it playing out without that caution. I think it was going to be an interesting race between you and James Lovell there. He pitted that lap later, came out ahead. He was on the cold tires, sliding around. You were able to dart past him there. Ended up actually getting the lucky dog because of that. Take us through, what was your mindset, trying to get ahead of him and get the clean air because, he had a pretty good gap built there once you got the second. Was that kind of the plan there if it did stay green?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be close just because I pitted a lap early. So I knew I needed to get by him while he had fresh rubber because the cars are so loose on fresh rubber. And I thought it would give me an opportunity to just kind of maintain a pace and kind of keep a distance. And then, of course, a caution comes out. So I think that's the MO for me right now. It seems like cautions come out when I go into pits. But it worked out just because we got that lucky dog. So that kind of saved our race.
Yeah, that it did, man. I tell you what, you got to look back sometimes and say that's the pass that definitely helped your situation out, man, because definitely worked out to get the lucky dog there. As like you said, it seems like when you pit there in these final stages, it always seems like a yellow flies, but you rebounded, got the win. So that's 3 in the opening 5 races, man. So congrats on that as we head off to Kansas next week. That should be fun there in the Xfinity car. Also, before we let you get out of here, as always, though, Jason, anybody get us to the shout to, man?
Justin, all the guys in the league, they do a great job. All the competitors, man. I know the guys I raced around tonight. I mean, we raced really hard and clean, and that's what I like about this league, that everybody does a great job. So shout out to them, and then shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do a great job every week, and friends and family tuning in.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in, Jason, and out there putting on the show for us out here on this racetrack. It's very fun to watch week in and week out, man. Congrats on your victory, and we'll catch you next week at Kansas, man.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. That was Jason Finsler, your race winner here tonight at the Underdog Racing League. Man, what a finish it was for these guys. Let's go ahead and bring up the race results. As you can see, Jason Finsler bringing home that race victory. Second's going to end up in Dylan Walterman's hands. Third's going to go to Matt Job. 4th position there is Nick Alves. 5th's going to be David Buell. 6th's going to go to Kevin Orlando Jr. 7th's going to be Cody Dorsey. 8th, Peyton Presley. 9th's going to be Christopher Heights. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Brett Somers. 11th's going to be Marshall Wilson. 12th, Scott Kerberg. 13th, John Magner. 14th's going to be Dane Moyer. 15th's going to be Grant Thrope. 16th's going to be Robert Rader. 17th, Trevor Earhart after sitting on the pole and almost winning both stages. 18th's going to go to Dennis Steele. 19th, James Lovell after winning stage 2. 20th is going to go to Jacob Sekrovich. 21st is going to go to Ray Lane. 22nd, Justice Murphy. 23rd, Parker Johnston. 24th, Justin Stunnard. And riding out your field in the 25th position is Eddie Wildermuth. As that's your race results here tonight from the Underdog Racing League. And what a race it was, Ryan. Man, we get to see Finsler get that 3rd win of the season, but man, was it a hard-fought victory ever for him.
Yeah, it was one of the more competitive victories for him this season that I've had that I've witnessed. Anyways, he was having a great run, and yeah, you look at it. Yeah, he won each stage, and then he won the race, but he had to battle somebody the entire time, and then you had, guys like Ray Lane who are new to the league. That he's had 2 great runs, and he just hasn't had the finish to show for it yet. You got guys like Magner who finished outside the top 10. He had a good run tonight. We talked to Matt Job there. He had a slow start and rebounded to 3rd. You had, the 99. I didn't know you could run that fast 3/4 throttle especially at a place like this.
Yeah, it definitely it was impressive to see him pull that feat off. for sure. And seems like he definitely got some more speed once he got that fixed up as much as he could there. So congrats to all the drivers out here tonight. Congrats to the fans tuning in because you got to see one heck of a race. Thank you, though, for tuning in because without you guys, we could not do this. So make sure if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and the bell notification button so you can be notified each and every time we go live here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we try to get to 1,000 subs, and it's up to 976, man. That thing is almost just a 20 left. That is mind-blowing to see, and we thank you very much for getting us here this early in the year of 2021. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll send it up to our producer Robert Moyer Jr. before we head off to the Kansas Motor Speedway next week here at the Underdog Racing League. So now off to Robert Moyer Jr. to close it out tonight here in Texas.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Ryan. Great call. Great racing here with Underdog Racing League. They put on a great show week in and week out. No yellows. I mean, except for the stages. Other than that, I mean, just dominant racing. And yeah, I guess they did have yellow. I do apologize. My bad. But anyways, still great racing. These guys got backpack guys that could figure out how to get to the front and still battle against these fast guys and give them a run for their money. So awesome racing. But like you said, Zach, next week we're going to be off to Kansas here with these guys at in the Xfinity car. So it should be fun to watch and see how they run that track. Haven't been there for a while, but it's going to be fun to watch that. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday at 8:50 on YouTube, and hopefully everybody enjoyed tonight's content. Our next show will be tomorrow night at 9:20 Eastern with Stars and Stripes with me and Sam Dyer. We're going to call all the action as they're going to bring out the Xfinity cars, and it's going to be 30-plus vehicles out on the track. So make sure you tune in if you have time tomorrow night, because I'm telling you, they put on a show just like the Underdog or all the other leagues that we do. But until then, hopefully we catch you tomorrow night. If not, have a great week. Be safe, and we'll catch you next Wednesday. But until then, God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.